Okay, so we're diving into this whole Moo Deng phenomenon. Everyone's seen the pictures, the videos. This baby hippo's got the internet wrapped around her little hoof.
She's gone totally viral. Yeah.
But why? What is it about this little one, besides the obvious cuteness? That's what we're going to dig into today. We've got 3 articles about Moo Deng, 2 from CNN and Reuters that cover the whole craze, and then a really interesting one from the BBC that takes a look at, well, maybe the not-so-great side of all this attention.
Yeah, it's a fascinating case study. And honestly, I think it says a lot about how we consume media these days, especially when it comes to animals.
Exactly. Like, I have to admit, I got sucked into that yawning video. Come on. Pure joy right there.
Mm.
But before we get into all that, maybe we should take a step back for anyone who somehow hasn't encountered Moo Deng yet.
Right, right. So pygmy hippos, which is what Moo Deng is, they're not your average hippos. They're way smaller, for one thing, and incredibly rare.
Oh, I read they're actually rarer than giant pandas in the wild.
It's true. Most people don't even realize that.
Yeah.
And they're native to West Africa.
Yeah.
So Moo Deng being in Thailand.
It's already kind of a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely put pygmy hippos on the map, for better or worse,
And Moo Deng seems like the absolute perfect ambassador for them. Except, well, from what I've been reading, this fame thing's got a bit of a dark side.
Oh, yeah. Definitely something to think about.
But before we get into all that, can we just talk about this yawning video for a sec?
Gosh, yeah.
There's just something about it. Millions of views. And for good reason. It's like watching pure happiness unfold.
It's the epitome of cute content. And those little chomps she does on her keeper's knees during bath time, forget about it.
I know. It's ridiculous how cute she is. And the names. Okay, so Moo Deng literally translates to bouncy pig in Thai.
Which is amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it's a popular pork dish over there, too, apparently. It gets better, though. Her siblings are named after Thai dishes, too. Moo Toon and Moo Warn. Imagine explaining that at a party. Oh, yeah, that's my niece, Moo Deng, like the dish.
Instant conversation starter.
It's so easy to get sucked into the cuteness overload. Believe me, I've probably watched that yawning video way too many times.
Yeah, it's adorable.
But it did get me thinking, what's the real impact of all this attention, Especially for wildlife.
It's a double-edged sword, that's for sure.
Right.
I mean, you've got this amazing opportunity to raise awareness for pygmy hippos, which, let's be real, most people didn't even know existed before Moo Deng.
Totally.
But at the same time, you've got to find that balance. How do you manage this sudden fame, this dot obsession, even while still prioritizing the animal's well-being?
Yeah, the articles talk about that. The zoo's seen a massive spike in visitors.
Oh, yeah. Thousands more people per day, all wanting a glimpse of Moo Deng.
Exactly. So then it's how do you even manage that?
It's a huge challenge. And the internet just amplifies everything,
And speaking of managing things, one of the articles mentioned the zoo's limiting viewing time to just 5 minutes per group.
Yeah, they're trying to find ways to control the crowds and give Moo Deng some space. 5 minutes does seem kind of short, though.
I know, right? Imagine waiting in line for hours for a 5-minute glimpse. Makes you wonder if it's worth it.
It really highlights the whole issue of wildlife tourism in the social media age. Where do you draw the line?
Totally. And it's not always the zoo's fault either, right?
Yeah.
People can get kind of intense.
Oh, for sure. When you've got that many people all wanting that perfect picture or video for their social media, things can get out of hand.
So what happens when things go too far? What are we talking about here?
Well, the articles mentioned a few incidents.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, and some of them are, well, kind of disheartening.
Okay, so you're making me nervous now. What kind of incidents are we talking about? Okay, so you're making me nervous now. What kind of incidents are we talking about?
Well, some visitors have been throwing things into Moo Deng's enclosure.
Ugh.
Trying to get her attention or something. And then there was this whole thing with a cosmetics company.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they used her likeness in an ad for blush.
Are you serious?
It's come on, people. Have we learned nothing about exploiting animals for profit?
It's so frustrating. But at least the zoo is trying to do the right thing, right?
Yeah, it seems like they're taking it pretty seriously, actually. They've put up more cameras to keep an eye on things, and they've partnered with a wildlife protection organization.
Okay, good.
And get this, they're actually looking into pressing charges against someone who threw a plastic bottle at Moo Deng.
Wow, they're not messing around. That's good to hear. But it still makes you wonder, what can we even do about this? I'm not throwing plastic bottles at hippos, but I'm still watching the videos online.
That's the thing about this whole conversation, right? It's bigger than just one baby hippo in Thailand.
Right.
It's about how we approach wildlife, both online and in person. Are we being responsible tourists? Are we supporting organizations that actually care about animal welfare?
Those are great questions.
And maybe even more importantly, are we thinking about the content we share? Like, does it promote ethical interactions with animals?
It all adds up, right? Even just being mindful of that stuff can make a difference.
Exactly. Because like you said earlier, this isn't just about Moo Deng being adorable, it's about the bigger picture.
She's like a representative for her whole species, and they're facing some serious challenges in the wild, right?
Absolutely. But her story, even with all this complicated stuff around it, it's an opportunity.
To do better.
Exactly. To learn more, to think critically, and to be more conscious of our impact.
I love that. So before we wrap things up, I have one last thought for everyone listening. Imagine you're at the zoo, you've waited in line, and you've got your 5 minutes with Moo Deng. What would you want to say to the people around you to encourage them to really appreciate her in a way that respects her? It's something to think about. How can we make sure that the animals who bring us so much joy are treated with the care and respect they deserve? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. Catch you next time.